Dr. Olivia Wright rubbed her tired eyes and stared at the monitor. The radiation patterns didn't make sense. For the third night in a row, she had detected something unusual at the edge of the solar system. Something that shouldn't be there. Computer, run the analysis again, she said, taking a sip of cold coffee. The results came back the same. Whatever was out there, it was big, it was moving, and it was definitely not natural. Olivia picked up her phone and dialed her supervisor. "Sir, I need you to come see this right away." 2 hours later, the observation room at the Global Defense Observatory was filled with military personnel and scientists. The holographic display showed a cluster of objects moving steadily toward Earth. "How many?" asked General Hoffman, his face grim. "At least 50 large vessels, sir," Olivia replied, "and they're accelerating." The general turned to a tall man in a Navy uniform. "Captain Johnson, I want the Sentinel deployed immediately." Captain Eric Johnson nodded. At 42, he had spent half his life in the United Earth Space Navy, but never had he faced a situation like this. "We'll be ready in 4 hours, sir." "You have 2, the general replied. As Captain Johnson left to prepare his ship, Olivia continued her analysis. The objects were definitely ships of some kind, each one massive, at least a mile long. They moved with precision that suggested advanced technology, far beyond anything humans had developed. Within 24 hours, every major government on Earth had been notified. Emergency meetings were called. Military forces worldwide went on high alert. And still, the alien fleet approached. The Sentinel, Earth's most advanced reconnaissance vessel, departed from lunar orbit toward the incoming fleet. Captain Johnson and his crew of 15 were mankind's first line of contact. "Keep us at a safe distance," Johnson instructed his navigator. "We're here to observe only." For 3 days, they watched the alien fleet. The ships were sleek, with a metallic purple sheen that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. They moved in perfect formation, like a swarm of deadly insects. On the 4th day, the aliens made contact. A signal came through on all frequencies, overwhelming Earth's communication systems. Every television, radio, computer, and phone displayed the same message. A creature appeared on screens worldwide, tall and thin with 6 eyes arranged in a circle around what might have been a mouth. Its skin was pale blue and seemed to pulse with internal light. "People of Earth," the creature spoke in perfect English. "We are the Vorax. Your planet has been selected for harvesting. Your resources will serve the expansion of our empire. You have 48 hours to surrender control of your governments and military assets. Resistance is inadvisable. We have conquered 17 worlds before yours. None survive who oppose us." The screen went black. Panic spread across the globe. In major cities, people fled to the countryside. Others looted stores and fought over supplies. Some religious groups declared it the end times. Stock markets crashed within hours. In Washington, D.C., the United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session. Leaders from every nation joined via secure video link. "We can't possibly surrender," said the President of the United States, "but our military analysis suggests we can't win either. Their technology is centuries ahead of ours. Perhaps we can negotiate," suggested the European Union representative. "Offer them limited resources in exchange for our sovereignty." "The Vorax don't negotiate," said Dr. Wright, who had been called to brief the council. "From what we can tell from their message and ship formations, they're conquerors, not traitors." The debate continued for hours as the deadline approached. Military options were discussed and dismissed. Diplomatic approaches seemed futile. The sense of hopelessness grew with each passing hour. Then a man stepped forward, whom few in the room recognized. John Martinez had been a mid-level diplomat, known for unconventional thinking but not considered important enough for high-level meetings. Today, he had been bringing coffee to his superior when the discussion caught his attention. "Excuse me," he said, his voice surprisingly strong. "I have a suggestion." The room fell silent, more from surprise at the interruption than interest. "We shouldn't respond with fear or aggression or diplomacy," Martinez continued. We should respond with confidence, send them one message, a warning, then say nothing more and prepare. A warning? The Russian president laughed bitterly. Warn them of what? Our inferior weapons? Just one clear warning, Martinez insisted. No negotiations, no threats of specific action, no pleading, then silence. Complete communication blackout while we prepare every defense we have. What would this warning say? Asked the Chinese premier, surprisingly interested. Martinez walked to the center of the room. It would say, "We will defend what is ours. This is your only warning." The room erupted, in arguments. Some called it suicide. Others said it was meaningless posturing, but a few military leaders nodded thoughtfully. The psychological impact could be significant, noted the Indian Prime Minister. The Voraks expect either surrender or desperate pleading. A single confident warning followed by silence might unsettle them. They've conquered 17 worlds, Martinez added. I bet none of those worlds responded this way. We'd be unpredictable. And in the meantime, we use every moment to prepare. After hours of debate, the council narrowly approved the plan. A simple message was crafted and sent toward the Voraks fleet. We will defend what is ours. This is your only warning. Then Earth went silent. All direct communications with the fleet ceased. The Voraks commander received the message with what might have been amusement. These humans were more primitive than most species they had conquered. Their warning was empty, a bluff from a frightened prey animal showing its teeth before being devoured. But deep in their command ship, a tactical officer noted something curious. The humans had withdrawn their reconnaissance vessel, and long-range scans showed unusual activity around Earth's moon. Perhaps these humans deserved more careful study before the invasion began. On Earth, military bases hummed with activity. Scientists worked around the clock. In underground facilities, weapons that had been theoretical were rushed into production, and in orbit, platforms that had been disguised as communication satellites revealed their true purpose. The clock was ticking. The Voraks would arrive in full force within 5 days. But humanity wasn't planning to surrender. They had issued their warning. Now they would make sure it wasn't an empty threat. The Voraks commander stared at the message from Earth for the third time. Such a simple response. So unlike the begging and offers of surrender they usually received. Just one warning, then silence. It was almost amusing. Commander, shall we proceed with the standard invasion protocol? Asked his second-in-command. Yes, the commander replied. These humans are primitive. Their warning is empty. Prepare the first wave. What the Voraks didn't know was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for decades. After the strange signals detected in the 2050s, world governments had secretly funded defense projects that went far beyond what was publicly known. Admiral Lisa Donovan stood in the control center of the Luna Defense Network, a facility buried deep beneath the moon's surface. At 58, she had spent her entire military career preparing for a moment she hoped would never come. Activate all systems, she ordered, and make sure the solar shields are at full capacity. Around the moon, hidden weapon platforms powered up. They had been disguised as mining operations and research stations. Now they revealed their true purpose. On Earth, Paul Rogers hunched over his computer. Sweat beaded on his forehead as his fingers flew across the keyboard. Next to him, Kate Miller analyzed the data streaming in from their monitoring satellites. I think I've got something, Paul said. Look at these patterns in their communications. Kate leaned closer. They're using quantum entanglement for instant communication across their fleet. Yes, but look at the frequency patterns, Paul pointed to a series of spikes on his screen. There's a vulnerability there. If we can create enough interference at these specific frequencies, we could disrupt their entire command structure, Kate finished his thought. But we'd need enormous power to generate that kind of interference. Paul nodded. Let's talk to Garcia. His new power cells might be able to handle it. Across the globe, similar conversations were happening. Scientists, engineers, and military personnel worked together with a single purpose: survival. In orbit, The USS Defender prepared for its mission. Unlike the reconnaissance vessel Sentinel, the Defender was built for combat and stealth. Its hull was coated with materials that absorbed rather than reflected signals. It was nearly invisible to standard detection methods. Captain William Boyd gathered his crew of 30 on the bridge. "Our mission is simple but dangerous," he explained. "We will approach the Vorax fleet under stealth. Our goal is to gather intelligence on their weapon systems and, if possible, plant Dr. Wright's monitoring devices on one of their ships." "What about defensive capabilities, sir?" asked his first officer. "We have the new shield technology," Boyd replied, "but it's untested in combat. We avoid engagement at all costs." The Defender slipped away from Earth orbit, using the moon as cover before heading toward the approaching alien fleet. Meanwhile, in a laboratory beneath the Rocky Mountains, Frank Garcia worked frantically to perfect his shield technology. Based on principles of quantum field manipulation, the shields could in theory deflect the energy weapons that the Vorax were likely to use. "More power to the field generators," he instructed his team. "And watch for fluctuations in the containment field." The test shield hummed and glowed with a faint blue light. A targeted energy beam hit it and scattered harmlessly. "It works!" shouted one of the younger scientists. "For now," Frank cautioned, "but we need to make it work consistently and scale it up significantly." They had 3 days before the Vorax would be in weapons range of Earth. In cities around the world, a different kind of preparation was underway. Michelle Carter led the Civilian Defense Initiative, organizing people into support groups, establishing emergency protocols, and preparing shelters. "Remember," she told volunteers in New York, "our job is to keep people calm and safe. The military will handle the fight. We handle the aftermath." Similar briefings were happening globally. For the first time in human history, there were no significant conflicts between nations. The threat from beyond had united humanity in ways that seemed impossible just weeks before. The Vorax continued their approach, unaware of the preparations being made. Their scans showed only what humans wanted them to see: a planet with basic defenses and primitive space capabilities. "These humans are strange," the Vorax tactical officer noted. "They've made no further attempts to communicate. No pleas for mercy. No offers of tribute." "Perhaps they are preparing to fight," suggested another officer. The commander dismissed this with a gesture. "With what? Our scans show nothing that could harm our ships. They are like all the others. They will fight. They will lose. They will be harvested." Aboard the USS Defender, Captain Boyd watched the alien fleet through specially designed sensors. "They're arranging into attack formation," he noted. "Weapon systems appear to be powering up." "Sir, we're detecting a signal from Earth," his communications officer reported. "It's Admiral Donovan." "Put her through," Boyd ordered. Admiral Donovan's voice came through clearly. "Captain, we're activating Operation Silent Thunder. Your orders are to proceed with reconnaissance only. Do not engage unless absolutely necessary." "Understood, Admiral," Boyd replied. "We're in position and observing." The Vorax fleet had now formed into 5 distinct groups, each targeting a different region of Earth. Their weapon systems were unlike anything humans had seen before, capable of targeting precise locations from orbit with devastating force. "First wave launch in 12 hours, the Vorax commander announced. "Target their largest population centers first, then their military installations." On Earth, Dr. Wright continued analyzing the Vorax fleet. "Their flagship is here," she pointed, to a larger vessel at the center of the formation. "All commands seem to originate from it." General Hoffman nodded. "If we could somehow disrupt that ship—" "We're working on it," Dr. Wright assured him. "Rogers and Miller have identified a weakness in their communication system." The countdown continued. 10 hours until the first attack. 9, 8. In the White House Situation Room, world leaders received updates from their military and scientific teams. "Are we ready?" asked the president. General Hoffman straightened. "As ready as we can be, sir. The Luna Defense Network is fully operational. Captain Boyd's ship is in position, and Garcia's shield technology has been deployed to key locations. 7 hours. 6. The Vorax commander sent one final message to Earth. Your time is up. Surrender now or be destroyed. Earth's response was exactly the same as before. Complete silence. They're either foolish or have accepted their fate, the commander said. Begin the attack. What the Vorax didn't know was that humanity had used these precious days well. Hidden defenses were ready, plans were in place, and Captain Boyd's ship had successfully infiltrated the alien fleet, carrying devices that would soon disrupt the Vorax's perfect coordination. The first wave of alien fighters launched, heading toward Earth with deadly purpose, but humanity was ready. Their warning hadn't been empty after all. The first wave of Vorax fighters entered Earth's atmosphere, their weapons hot and ready to fire. They targeted major cities: New York, Beijing, London, Moscow, Tokyo. The aliens expected no real resistance. After all, 17 other worlds had fallen before them. Earth would be no different. They were wrong. As the first fighters reached the upper atmosphere, the Luna Defense Network activated. Hidden platforms on the moon's surface fired energy beams that caught the aliens completely by surprise. 5 Vorax ships exploded instantly. 7 more spun out of control, their navigation systems scrambled. In the Vorax command ship, alarms blared. The commander rushed to the control room, his 6 eyes widening in shock. What is happening? He demanded. The humans, his second in command, replied. They have defensive capabilities we did not detect. Impossible. Our scans showed nothing like this. They must have hidden them somehow. And there's more. We've lost contact with the second attack group. The commander slammed his fist on the control panel. Send the third wave. Target their defense systems. On the moon, Admiral Donovan watched the battle unfold on her screens. They're adapting quickly, she noted. The second wave is taking evasive action. Luna batteries 4 through 8 are tracking them, her weapons officer reported. Firing now. More Vorax ships exploded, but some got through. They descended toward Earth, weapons charged. In New York, Michelle Carter watched the sky from an emergency command center. All civilians to the shelters, she ordered through the emergency broadcast system. This is not a drill. People streamed into underground facilities that had been prepared over the last few days. Some were panicking, but most moved with surprising order, following the protocols they had been taught. The first Vorax energy blast hit Times Square, or would have, if not for the shield that suddenly appeared above the city. The alien weapon's energy scattered harmlessly against the blue barrier. In his Rocky Mountain lab, Frank Garcia monitored the shield's performance. It's holding, he shouted to his team. Power levels stable at 80%. Similar shields protected other major cities. Not all of Earth was covered. There hadn't been time to deploy the technology everywhere, but the most populated areas were safe for now. The Vorax commander couldn't believe what he was seeing. How is this possible? Their technology was primitive just days ago. Sir, his tactical officer said, we're detecting unusual activity near our fleet. Something is moving between our ships, but our sensors can't get a clear reading. That something was the USS Defender. Captain Boyd had navigated his stealth ship into the heart of the Vorax fleet. His mission, plant the disruptors designed by Rogers and Miller on key enemy vessels. Approaching the command ship, Boyd said, quietly to his crew, maintain stealth protocols, prepare boarding team. Using the chaos of the battle as cover, a small team of 6 humans in special suits left the Defender. They moved through space toward the massive Vorax flagship, carrying devices that looked like small metal discs. On Earth, Paul Rogers and Kate Miller worked frantically in their lab. The disruptors are in position, Paul said, watching the signal from the devices. Ready to activate on your mark. Kate checked her calculations one last time. If this works, it will disrupt their quantum communications across the entire fleet. And if it doesn't? She gave him a grim smile. Then we try something else. Humanity doesn't give up easily. The Vorax continued their attack, but they were growing confused. Their perfect coordination was breaking down as Luna's defenses took out more ships, and Earth's shields were proving surprisingly resilient. Third wave is taking heavy losses, The Vorax tactical officer reported. Request permission to launch the fourth wave with full weapons authorization. The commander hesitated only briefly. Approved. Target their moon first. Destroy whatever is generating those energy beams. The fourth wave of fighters launched from the Vorax fleet. These were larger, more heavily armed ships designed for major assaults. Admiral Donovan saw them coming. They're targeting us now, she told her staff. Activate secondary defenses and prepare for impact. The Luna Defense Network had one more surprise, a second layer of weapons platforms hidden beneath the moon's surface. As the Vorax approached, these platforms rose up, revealing massive cannons that had never been fired before today. Fire at will, Donovan ordered. The space between the moon and the oncoming Vorax ships lit up with energy beams more powerful than anything humans had publicly displayed before. The aliens didn't stand a chance. 15 ships destroyed in the first volley, 12 more in the second. Meanwhile, Boyd's team had successfully planted their devices on the Vorax flagship and 4 other major vessels. They returned to the Defender, which quietly slipped away from the command ship. We're clear, Boyd reported to Earth. Devices planted and ready. In their lab, Rogers and Miller received the signal. Activating now, Kate said, pressing a sequence on her keyboard. The disruptors came to life, generating precisely calibrated interference that targeted the Vorax quantum communication system. Almost instantly, confusion spread through the alien fleet. We've lost contact with the fourth wave, the Vorax communications officer reported. And with the second fleet group. How is this possible? The commander demanded. Switch to backup communications. Those aren't working either. EO, humans must be jamming us somehow. Without their perfect coordination, the Vorax attack faltered. Ships fired at the wrong targets or failed to fire at all. Some crashed into each other as evasive maneuvers went wrong. The commander made a difficult decision. Pull back. Regroup beyond their moon's orbit. We need to reassess. As the aliens retreated, a cheer went up in command centers across Earth. But military leaders knew this was just the beginning. They'll be back, General Hoffman said, and they'll be better prepared next time. Dr. Wright nodded. But so will we. Now we have data on their weapons and shields, and we've shown them that humanity isn't as easy to conquer as they thought. In Washington, D.C., John Martinez watched the battle reports with a mixture of relief and concern. His strategy had worked. The single warning followed by silent preparation had thrown the Vorax off balance. But as the alien ships regrouped, in the distance he knew the real test was still to come. Earth had survived the first attack, but the Vorax wouldn't make the same mistakes twice. The Vorax commander paced the bridge of his flagship. For the first time in his long career, he felt something close to fear. No species had ever repelled a first attack so effectively. These humans were different. The fleet is regrouped, Commander, his second-in-command reported. Engineers have modified our communications to resist the human interference, and our scanners have identified their defense systems. Good, the commander said. Prepare all ships for a coordinated attack. This time we strike with everything. Vorax ships formed a new pattern. Instead of separate waves, they would attack as one massive force. Over 200 ships moved toward Earth, weapons fully charged. On Earth, military leaders tracked the alien movements. They're coming back, General Hoffman announced to the Emergency Council. All ships full weapons. Admiral Donovan's voice came through from the Luna base. The moon defenses are at maximum readiness, but they won't be surprised this time. They'll target us first. Then we need to surprise them again, Dr. Wright said. She turned to John Martinez. Your strategy worked once. What do we do now? Martinez looked at the holographic display showing the Vorax fleet. We need to change the battlefield, make them fight where we have the advantage. What do you suggest? Asked the president. Martinez pointed to a location in space. Here, behind Mars, we have something they don't know about. In the weeks before the Vorax arrived, Earth had quietly positioned 6 orbital defense platforms in Mars orbit. These massive stations were equipped with weapons that could tear through alien shields, but they needed time to charge fully. General Hoffman nodded. It's time to spring the trap, Admiral Donovan, prepare to execute Operation Red Planet. Inder. Space, Captain Boyd received new orders. The USS Defender would play a crucial role in the coming battle. His stealth ship was currently shadowing the Vorax fleet, undetected. We need to get their attention, Boyd told his crew, and then lead them where we want them to go. The Defender suddenly powered up its weapons and fired at the rear of the Vorax formation. 3 alien ships exploded before they knew what hit them. Then the Defender went to full speed, racing toward Mars. After them, the Vorax commander ordered when he saw the human ship fleeing. That's the vessel that planted the disruptors. Destroy it. A group of 30 Vorax ships broke formation to chase the Defender, exactly as planned. Meanwhile, the main Vorax fleet continued toward Earth. This time, they targeted the Luna Defense Network first, just as Admiral Donovan had predicted. Evasive action, she ordered as alien weapons fire pounded the moon's surface. All personnel to backup stations. The lunar defenses fired back, destroying several Vorax ships, but they were outnumbered. One by one, the defense platforms exploded under the alien assault. On Earth, people watched with growing fear as the moon lit up with explosions. The shields over major cities activated again, but Frank Garcia knew they wouldn't last forever against a full attack. We need more power, he told his team. Reroute everything to the shield generators. Across the planet, power plants directed all their output to the defense systems. Lights went out in homes and businesses as every available watt went to the shields. The Vorax, seeing the moon defenses weakening, turned toward Earth. Begin the attack, the commander ordered. No mercy this time. The first volley hit Earth's shields. Blue energy flared as Garcia's technology absorbed the impact. Shields holding at 60%, a technician reported. But they're hitting us with everything now. In Washington, Martinez watched the battle with growing concern. Where's Boyd? He asked. He should have them in position by now. Near Mars, the USS Defender raced ahead of its pursuers. Captain Boyd checked his instruments. Almost there, he told his crew. Prepare to execute emergency maneuver on my mark. The Defender shot past Mars, the pursuing Vorax close behind. As they rounded the planet, Boyd gave the order. Now, his ship executed a perfect flip and burn, changing direction instantly. At the same moment, 6 massive orbital platforms emerged from hiding behind Mars. They had been charging their weapons for days, waiting for this moment. Fire, ordered the platform commander. 6 concentrated energy beams hit the pursuing Vorax ships simultaneously. 20 alien vessels were destroyed in seconds. The rest tried to scatter, but the platforms tracked them perfectly. Meanwhile, the Defender raced back toward Earth at maximum speed. The Vorax commander received the distress calls from his ships near Mars. What is happening? He demanded. Some kind of ambush, his tactical officer replied. We've lost the pursuit group. Before the commander could respond, a new threat appeared. Earth's combined space fleet emerged from behind the moon. 50 ships that had been hidden on the far side, protected from the initial attack. Admiral Donovan, who had evacuated the moon base just in time, now commanded from the lead ship. All vessels engage the enemy, she ordered. Focus fire on their flagship. The human fleet might have been smaller and less advanced, but they had one advantage: Garcia's shield technology. Their ships absorbed Vorax weapons fire while delivering devastating blows of their own. On the Vorax flagship, systems began to fail. We've lost engines 2 and 4, reported an officer. Weapons are at half power. The commander couldn't believe what was happening. These humans, who should have been easy prey, were beating them at every turn. Sir, his communications officer called out. The human device on our hull, it's changing. The disruptors that Boyd's team had planted were now serving a new purpose. Rogers and Miller had remotely reprogrammed them to interfere with the Vorax ship's internal systems. Throughout the alien fleet, power fluctuated. Weapons misfired. Navigation systems gave false readings. The Vorax commander made a difficult decision. Order all ships to disengage, retreat beyond their system's edge. For the second time, the aliens withdrew, but this retreat was different. desperate, disorganized, with human ships in pursuit. On Earth, people watched in amazement as the Vorax fled. In command centers around the world, military leaders allowed themselves cautious celebration. "We've won this round," General Hoffman said. "But they'll be back." Dr. Wright studied the data from the battle. "Not for a while, I think. We hurt them badly." John Martinez looked thoughtful. "We need to prepare for what comes next. This isn't just about defending Earth anymore. We need to understand who these Vorax are and why they're here." The battle was over, but everyone knew this was just the beginning of a larger conflict. Humanity had surprised the Vorax twice now. The third encounter would be different. But for the first time since the aliens arrived, Earth dared to hope for more than just survival. 3 days passed since the Vorax retreat. Earth celebrated its victory, but military and scientific teams worked without rest. They knew this wasn't the end. Captain Boyd's USS Defender tracked the alien fleet to the edge of the solar system, beyond Neptune's orbit. The Vorax had stopped there, repairing their ships and apparently waiting for something. "They're not leaving," Boyd reported to Earth Command, "and I'm detecting unusual communication patterns." Dr. Wright analyzed the data from the Defender. "They're sending signals outside our solar system," she said, "likely calling for reinforcements." This news spread quickly through Earth's leadership. If more Vorax ships arrived, even humanity's surprising defenses might not be enough. "We need to learn more about them," John Martinez said during an emergency meeting. "Why are they really here? What do they want with Earth specifically?" The answer came from an unexpected source. During the last battle, Captain Boyd's team had downloaded data from the Vorax flagship's computers. Most of it was encrypted, but Rogers and Miller had been working to decode it. "We've got something," Paul announced, rushing into the meeting room. Kate found a way to translate their star charts and mission logs. The information projected onto the main screen stunned everyone. Earth wasn't just another conquest for the Vorax. It was a staging point, a strategic location for a much larger campaign. "According to this," Kate explained, "the Vorax are expanding their territory because they're fleeing something else. Something that destroyed several of their core worlds." General Hoffman leaned forward. "Are you saying they're refugees?" "Not exactly," Paul replied. "More like an army in retreat that's conquering new territory to rebuild their forces. Earth has resources they need, and our solar system provides good defensive positions." This new understanding changed everything. The Vorax weren't just conquerors. They were desperate. On his ship, the Vorax commander received a message from the Empire's high command. Reinforcements would arrive in 10 of Earth's days. But the news wasn't all good. The force that had destroyed their home worlds was advancing faster than expected. "We must take this planet," the commander told his officers. "Our survival depends on it." His tactical officer looked doubtful. "These humans are more dangerous than we thought. Perhaps we should find another world." "There is no time," the commander replied, "and no suitable alternative nearby. We prepare for one final attack." On Earth, Admiral Donovan led a strategy session with military leaders from around the world. "We hurt them, but they'll be back, likely with reinforcements. We need to take the fight to them." "How?" asked a Chinese general. "Our ships don't have the range to pursue them effectively beyond Neptune." Frank Garcia stepped forward. "I think we can help with that." He displayed plans for an upgraded propulsion system. "We've adapted some of the Vorax technology from the ships we destroyed. It will give our vessels 3 times their current range and speed." "How quickly can we implement this?" Admiral Donovan asked. 3 days for the first squadron," Garcia replied. "A week for the entire fleet." While Earth ships were being upgraded, Captain Boyd continued his observation mission. The USS Defender remained hidden near the Vorax fleet, recording everything. "Sir," his science officer reported one day, "I'm detecting a new energy signature from the Vorax flagship. They're scanning deep space beyond our solar system." Boyd studied the readings. "They're looking for something, or watching for something. Keep monitoring." Back on Earth, Olivia Wright made a startling discovery. Analyzing data from deep space telescopes, she detected unusual energy patterns coming from the direction the Vorax were watching. "There's something out there," she told the emergency council, "moving toward our solar system at incredible speed." John Martinez connected the pieces. "The Vorax aren't just here to conquer us, they're running from whatever that is." This realization led to a bold plan. Earth would attempt direct communication with the Vorax, offering a conditional alliance against their common enemy. "It's risky," General Hoffman warned. "They might see it as weakness, or they might see it as their only option," Martinez countered. "They've failed twice to take Earth by force. They know we can hurt them." After much debate, a message was prepared and sent to the Vorax fleet. "We know you flee from a greater threat. We offer conditional alliance. Respond if interested." The Vorax commander was stunned when he received the message. "How could they know?" he demanded. "Our mission parameters were encrypted. They must have accessed our database during the last attack," his second-in-command suggested. "These humans are more resourceful than we anticipated." The commander faced a difficult choice. His reinforcements were still 5 days away. The pursuing enemy would arrive in 15, and now these humans offered alliance instead of continued resistance. After consulting with his officers, he sent a reply. Terms? On Earth, Martinez worked with international leaders to craft a response. "You will withdraw beyond Saturn. We will share defense technology. Together, we prepare for the coming threat." Hours passed with no response. Then the Vorax ships began to move, away from Earth toward Saturn's orbit. "They're accepting," Admiral Donovan reported, watching the fleet movements. At least for now. 3 days later, a small Vorax delegation arrived on Earth for the first official meeting between the species. The commander himself came, escorted by Captain Boyd's ship as a show of trust. In a secure facility, human leaders met face-to-face with the aliens who had tried to destroy them just days before. "We underestimated your species," the Vorax commander admitted. "In all our conquests, no world has ever resisted as effectively as Earth." "We defend what is ours," Martinez replied, echoing the original warning. "But we can do more than fight. We can build, create, solve problems." The commander's 6 eyes focused on Martinez. "You will need all those skills. What comes for us, for all of us now, cannot be stopped by weapons alone." Dr. Wright presented her findings on the approaching energy signature. "What exactly is it?" she asked the Vorax. "We call them the Devourers," the commander replied. "They don't conquer worlds. They consume them entirely." As this sobering news spread through Earth's leadership, Admiral Donovan initiated a new defense protocol. "We'll need more than the solar system defenses now. We need to prepare for something much worse." Earth had survived the Vorax attack. Against all odds, humanity had forced a species centuries more advanced to retreat and then negotiate. But a greater challenge approached. In observatories around the world, scientists tracked the energy signature growing stronger. Whatever the Devourers were, they would reach the solar system within months. John Martinez looked out at the night sky from his office window. The stars seemed different now, knowing what was out there. Humanity's message to the stars had changed. No longer just a warning to those who would threaten Earth. Now it was an invitation to other species who might join together against a common enemy. Humanity had proven itself stronger than anyone expected. Now they would need to be stronger. Still,